I get asked a lot why we foster after having a child with special needs, so here it is. I'll tell you all about it. Hi everyone, it's Annasha from Shayla's Voice. Welcome back to our channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my personal story as to why we chose to foster kids as opposed to having more kids after Shayla. If you're new here, welcome to our channel. Our channel is about our daughter Shayla, who's 9 years old and was diagnosed with autism about 2.5 to 3 years old. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back and we're glad to see you again. Before we get into this, if you haven't already done so, remember to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. When a new video gets uploaded, you will be one of the first people to know. So a lot of you who follow us may know that we are also foster parents. Shayla is my only biological daughter. My husband, Sean, has 2 other kids. So altogether we have 3 kids and 2 foster kids who live with us. We have been fostering with the local agency where we live for about 5.5 going on to 6 years now. When we started fostering part-time, meaning that we did it on the weekends only. It's called relief work. We did it on the weekends only because Sean worked full-time and I worked full-time, right? So we didn't have the time to put into fostering full-time. Fast forward to about 2 years ago, I actually got laid off from my full-time job after 9 years. Womp womp. Every disappointment is a blessing. When one door closes, another one opens. So I got laid off from my full-time job after 9 years, and Sean still had a full-time job, an amazing, great full-time job. Shayla was had just started ABA therapy, and there was a lot of demand in regards to the back and forth with Shayla to go to therapy, the hours of therapy, and somebody needed to be at home. So Sean and I had a deep discussion as to whether or not we can, first of all, afford for one of us to stay home, and what would that look like, and all the yada 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 that married couples do, right? So we decided that yes, I am okay to stay home full time to be there for Shayla. So with that, because we did the fostering part-time, we thought, why not do fostering full-time, right? And the thing is, our worker, we love her. She was always pressing and asking us to go over full-time. Even with us working full-time, she did ask that whether or not we could do it. The kids, I mean, it depends on the age group that you have. I guess we could have managed, because if our kids were in school, we could work outside of the house, right? So it's something that could have happened, but we chose not to. But with this opportunity of me remaining home full time, we explored doing fostering full time. So basically, that was I decided to stay home in October. November is when we made the decision. I let my worker know that I was going to stay home. And by December, the end of December, they called us and said, hey, if you guys really need to do full time, we have 2 amazing kids for you. What do you think? And so on and so forth. So we decided to do it. And our kids have been with us every day since then. They're still with us. Right. So it's such a rewarding thing to do, fostering, right? You give back to the community. It's just so amazing. But the backstory with that is, so Sean has always been exposed to fostering. Growing up, he was exposed to fostering. He had a lot of friends who were in the foster system because I believe a distant family member did it, and that family member also babysat his kids at the time. So he was always exposed to it. So he saw the benefits of being in the foster system, helping these kids and giving back to the community. With me, I had not been exposed to it, but one thing I always knew is that based on the way that I grew up and my lifestyle and everything, I've always wanted to do more and to give back to the community, to help out in some way or the other. And I've always been passionate about working with other kids because of my past and my history. So I've always wanted to do more to help kids so that they don't go through the same things that I went through when I was growing up. Right. So when Sean, early on in our relationship, he had always brought up the idea of fostering, and I always shoot it, put it to the side and everything. One time we even went as far as starting the process and just not continuing with it, just leaving it behind, right? But after Shayla's diagnosis, and one thing that I've always known about myself as well is that I've always wanted to have kids. I've always wanted to be a mom. Always wanted to be a mom. I actually thought I would have kids, like 10 kids, or I thought I would have had kids at an early age, like in my early 20s. I actually had Shayla at 30, 29, 30. But I've always wanted to be a mom. So after Shayla's diagnosis, it was a hard decision to make not to have any more kids. Shayla's a great child. She's a great kid. She's not a lot of work. She's dependent on us a lot, but she's not a lot of work. Like I hear other stories out there, right? She's not a lot of work. Technically, I guess I could have had other kids, but what really did it for us is, I think for me, it's the fear of not knowing if I had another child, would the child be special needs? Would the child have autism? We went to her neurologist and we spoke to her neurologist and her pediatrician and her doctor and everybody. Again, nobody knows what causes autism. Nobody knows, right? But we had the discussions with doctors in regards to other kids. And we've heard stories and we know families where in the family there's multiple kids with autism or different needs and stuff like that. So at the same time, we know of families where one child has autism and the other child doesn't, or the other child doesn't, right? So you just don't know. You just don't know. So we decided to have the talk with our neurologist about having other kids and all of that. I mean, I'm not getting any younger. Sean's not getting any younger. If we were going to do it, we're going to do it. So we had the talk with the neurologist, and he did send us for genetics testing, just to help us make the decision. So we did the genetics testing, again, just to identify if there's any traits in myself, Sean, or Shayla that could potentially be passed on. We did the genetics testing and everything came back clear. Like it was nothing. Her genetics came back normal female. So my question was, you know what I mean? Like everything came back fine. So why does my child have autism? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. So at the same time, the talk with the neurologist was like, if you have another kid, we just don't know. We just don't know. It's a lot of the don't knows, right? Now, we are Christians, we are faith-based, and we know to trust in God and everything like that. But I think it was difficult / easy to make the decision not to. Because in talking to Sean, and Sean's great, like we've had so many great conversations, and talking to him, I mean, again, just seeing the opportunities out there. There's so many other kids out there who need great parents, and they're already here. They're already on the earth, and they need great parents, right? So we decided to make that decision that we would not have any other biological kids, but we will have kids. So we started the process again for fostering. So foster to adopt. Foster to adopt is basically you bring a child into your house, and if the child is a Crown Ward or extended care, then that child can potentially be adopted after a couple of years, seeing if there's no family involved. With foster care, it's not just about being in foster care. There's always the work being put in place to help reunite the kids with their family. So the system is working with the family to get healthy, to get better, to be able to take these kids back, right? But there are some cases where that's not the case, and the kids end up being in foster care for a longer period of time. And these kids, after a certain time, when no parents or no family comes forward, these kids are put on a adoption list, right? So now a family can actually adopt that child. So that's what foster to adopt is. But with us, we've had many kids come through our home, but again, most of them on relief. This is our first time we're actually doing this full time, and we have 2 kids, and we're happy because with our kids, family is involved. So the option for adoption would not be there for our kids because family is involved. So which is great for them. So yeah, so we decided that other babies for us. Sometimes I see other babies and I get that baby fever. And even with fostering, I've asked my worker to set up a baby room. So if there's an opportunity to have a baby, I can raise that child. And there's just so much that we can do for these kids, right? Again, these kids are coming from broken homes. They're coming from homes where they've lost their parents, or it could be lost. It could be just lost in the streets to drugs. It could be anything, right? There's so much need when it comes to our kids in our community. So why not do it? Why not do people say, oh, you must be so tired and you're doing so much and it's so much, like you're always doing stuff? It's not that bad. I mean, Shayla is in school and my kids are in school. My foster kids are in school. So during the day I'm home, so I cook a fresh meal every day. We do laundry, keep the house clean and everything like that. It's something that I would have been doing anyways, so why not do it for other kids? Another great thing about having Shayla and being able to foster is that I now have the skill set to help kids with different abilities. So our home, in the foster system, our home is considered to be a specialized enhanced home, meaning that we take in kids with higher needs. So we foster kids with autism, we can foster kids with Down syndrome, we can foster kids with any special need, and mental concerns, anything like that, right? So we're an enhanced home, and I contribute that to, again, us having Shayla and growing with her and learning so much about autism, and having built networks within a community, we can help other kids better that way. So really and truly, it's very, very rewarding. It wasn't a super tough decision to make to foster. Once we've made a decision not to have any more biological kids, I've always wanted to be a mom. I still want more kids. I would have 10 kids around the house, and Sean absolutely loves kids. Sean is a big kid himself. So why not? Why not? Our kids are out there. They need us. We have the capacity to help them in regards to warm meals, a bed to sleep in, a roof over their heads, give them a proper education. We have the means to do that. So Shayla, having autism is not going to stop me from giving back to our community. It's not going to stop our family from giving back, from helping, and from helping these kids have a wonderful, wonderful life. So that's why we decided to foster with a child with autism. We just simply want to give back to our community. We want to help our babies out. We want to help these kids out to grow into the utmost respected, fulfilled adults that they could potentially be. We really, really enjoy doing it. So yeah. Well, there you have it. A little bit of blah, blah, blah there in regards to our decision to foster with having a child with autism. It's a beautiful thing. If you are interested, I would say to reach out to your community, whatever the agency is, definitely do that. It is such a rewarding thing to have your kids come back and to hug you and to say hi to you and say thank you. It's just so rewarding. So definitely it's something that I do not regret doing, and I will continue to do for as long as I can. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already done so, remember to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. When a new video gets uploaded, you will be one of the first people to know. We will see you soon. Take care. Bye.